Hi and welcome to my Voldo tutorial for his Ringouts in Calibur 6. I feel like in this iteration he's got strong Ringouts to his front and to his left, and less so but still okay behind him and to his right. If you don't want to listen to me ramble on, I'll have a succinct list of his Ringouts available to him in the description below. But in the actual video I'll be demonstrating, well, the Ringouts themselves, but I'll also be showing the mix-up options he has available to him to discourage people from defending against those Ringouts, so you'll always be able to land them. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. Voldo's Ringout options in front of him are extremely strong. So he has quarter circle forward A+B, which is hard to react to low with the rings out. And then when the opponent starts crouch blocking because they're afraid of that, you can use 4K into 8A to ring out, which is strong because it's safe on block and it also crushes highs, which means if the opponent uses a high attack, you'll duck right under it and still ring them out. Another strong option is 4-4B into 4A into 8A. If 4-4B is blocked, it's 0 on block, so even if they've blocked the attack, you're still in a very strong position to continue attempting ringouts. Now, while those ringout options are strong, their one weakness is they're all linear, which means they can be stepped. That's a problem in particular in this scenario because when the opponent's back's to the edge, they want to step, they want to get away from this sort of scenario. Now, to counter step and get a ring out, we only have one option, which is back turn, quarter circle forward A, 4K 8A, but unfortunately this move is locked to back turned, and in this scenario we don't have access to all of these other ring out options. So because we're front turned, I would recommend using quarter circle forward AA to catch step into down back A. Now this didn't give us a ring out, but it does set up another ring out opportunity. So in this scenario, while standing A, we'll ring out. Now because it's a horizontal mid, the opponent's forced to stand block. If they try to crouch or if they try to sidestep, they will get rung out there. Now because they're stand blocking, we want to throw them. So normally Voldo's throws from the front won't give a ring out. But in this scenario we're throwing from blind stance. Now throwing from blind stance will actually make Voldo shift his position around to the right of the opponent and give him a different throw. And that throw happens to ring out, so in this scenario we can mix up between quarter circle forward AA, down back A, into while standing A like I shown, or into dash forward throw. As if that wasn't strong enough, you can also do dash forward into back throw. Because you're throwing there from the side, his neutral throw and his back throw both have the same animation, so the throw is also a 50-50 to be able to attack it. And if they try to duck to avoid this throw 50-50, you can hit them with the while standing A that I shown before. So yeah, really strong stuff. Another strong option for ringing at the opponent when they're back to the edge is dashing up into their face and stepping to the right. Now if you step to the right and they whiff an attack, you can react with sidestep B into ABA to ring out. Now if you step to the right and they didn't press anything, they just stood and blocked, you can throw them for the aforementioned 50-50 between neutral throw and back throw. Now if you step and they crouch to avoid this mix-up, you can do sidestep B anyway and still ring them out. So that sets up a really powerful situation. Now for Mantis Crawl ringouts, his Mantis Crawl feet towards B will ring out, and his Mantis Crawl pelvic thrust to B plus K will ring out. But the strong thing about this, despite it being only on counter hit, is how absurdly long range it is. Like, that is an absurd amount of ring out range. So that alone makes it really strong to do pelvic thrust pressure against the opponent against the ring's edge. And for Mantis Crawl head towards, he has an amazing set of ring out options here. He can ring out with Mantis Crawl head towards A, trying to catch step. And he can ring out with Mantis Crawl head towards B into 4K 8A. Another strong thing here is he can also ring out with Mantis Crawl head towards 6-6 to catch stand guarding opponents. That option that catches everybody online. So that also gives a ring out. So yeah, really good. Voldo's ring out options to his left aren't the strongest front facing, but they're still really good. So he's got 4K and a 6K. He's got 4-4B, 4K and a 6K. He's got his neutral throw A+G, which rings out to his left, and a couple of weaker options like sidestep K, blind stance while rising A, and 6-6 A+B K, which will ring out to his left as well. Now the main thought process or logic line you want to be following here is you can ring out with the mids and you can ring out with your neutral throw, but a good opponent will stand there, block the mids, and they'll tech neutral every time to avoid the ring out. So to break a strong opponent's defense, you need to use your back throw, unfortunately. Now the back throw doesn't net you a ring out, but it can set you up for another ring out opportunity. It's a little finicky, but the way to perform this ring out is back throw, sidestep left, tap forward, 4K, which will ring out. You have to sidestep left to get the right angle, and you have to tap forward to make 4K actually reach them, but it is a strong option. Now if your opponent expects that 4K launcher, they have three options to deal with it. They can lie on the ground, which will make it whiff, they can sidestep, which will make it whiff, or they can just stand and block the attack. To beat two of those options, which is sidestep and just blocking, you can do back throw into throw. Now if you just try and dash up and throw, you'll often whiff because his walk speed's too slow, but a solution to that is you do back throw, quarter circle forward, tap G into throw, it'll get there faster. Now the only option they have left to avoid all of that is to lie prone on the ground, and in that scenario you do back throw into quarter circle forward B, which also combos into 6BB on counter hit. So for Voldo's right side, he's got a few ring out options that are okay, but they're not as strong as the other sides. So he's got sidestep B into ABA, but it's not really applicable because you will be sidestepping from a front facing position into this position. So if you're already here, it's kind of useless. He does have his 4AB unblockable, which will ring out, but it is quite gimmicky, but it is fast. It can catch people off guard once in the blue moon. He's got sidestep K to the right, but it's got a finicky angle to get a ring out. He has his 4K into 8A, won't ring out from this position, but his 4-4B into 4K into 8A will, and that's because it actually shifts Voldo's position to the left when he's doing the 4-4B, which allows that to connect, so that actually is quite good. And then finally he has blind stance 9A into ABA, which will ring out as well. So for applying some sort of mix-up when the ring edge is to your right hand side, there's nothing super solid, but I do like to poke with blind stance 6BB over and over, which are clearly very vertical attacks, which incentivizes them to try and step away. And as soon as I think they're going to step away, I like to do 9A into ABA for a ring out. It's not super solid, it's not as good as the other mix-ups, but it is still something. Something else I do like to do is I like to poke with 4-4B, which is quite vertical, and if they know I have a tendency to do that and they want to try and step it, then you can sometimes nail them with the sidestep K to get the ring out as well. But those mix-ups aren't as strong as the other sides, but there's still something there. So now for Voldo's ring out game behind him, it actually is strong in some interesting ways. So he has Wild Rising B into 9A, and he also has Wild Rising B hold, which transitions into Manta stance into A, into 4K, which rings out. But where the actual strengths of the ring out lies here is his sidestep ability. So usually when people are trying to ring you out, they're right up in your face, they're trying to land whatever ring out they can. But Voldo can actually ring opponents out by sidestepping in this scenario in both directions. So if Voldo sidesteps to the left, he can ring out with sidestep B, ABA. And if Voldo sidesteps to the right and does 2-2B, he can do a combo that either rings them out or puts you in a restand that's plus 10. So first I'll show the ring out. And now I'll show the plus 10. So the combo is sidestep B, 666B, 2AB hold. That leaves you in plus 10 frame advantage, where you can also fish for another ring out. If you do 4K here, it'll ring out, and if they press a button, it'll trade with it, and often let you still combo with the 8A, depending on the hit stun of their move. So overall, super strong options. So for ringouts with your back to the edge, Mantis Crawl feet towards A, into B will ring out, which is pretty unlikely to happen. You have to be right at the edge for that. Or Mantis Crawl head towards B on counter hit only will ring out, also right at the edge. So they're both pretty unlikely. And in the same scenario, he can ring out behind him with counter hit B plus K into 4K. That sort of combo also works off quarter circle forward K when it hits, for long range corner carry if you want it. So those are Voldo's ring out options and the mix-ups that I like to use to land them. So just to recap, if the opponent's back's to the edge of the ring, I like to use quarter circle forward A+B for my low. I like to use 4-4-B, 4K 8A for my mid, and I like to use quarter circle forward AA into 1A for catching step, which won't ring out but will set up another 50-50 for ringing out between while standing A and dash up throw. And both throws, both the neutral throw and the back throw, will also ring out there, so really good. For ringing out to your left hand side here, you can use your A+G throw, or you can use launchers like 4K and 6K. And against strong opponents who know about both of these options, who will just block and tech neutral every time to tech that throw, you have to use your back throw. But like we described before, use your back throw into sidestep 4K to get your ring out. With the edge of the ring to your right hand side, like I said, there's nothing too strong in this scenario, except I do like to do blind stance 6BB over and over until I think they're going to try and step, and I do blind stance 9A into ABA. And finally, on my back's to the edge of the ring, I don't really use the while rising B ring out too much. What I do like to do is block and be patient and bide my time, and then try and step at the right moment and get my ring out, like I said before, with sidestep left into 2-2B ABA, or sidestep right into 666B 2AB hold for the restand or for the ring out. So yeah, that's everything. I think Voldo's got a really good ring out game in this iteration of Soul Calibur, and thanks for watching.